gain from wearing a mask, and why are you opposed to wearing one yourself?
Well, I just don't want to wear one myself. It's a recommendation. They recommend it. I'm feeling good. I just don't want to be doing, I don't know, somehow sitting in the Oval Office behind that beautiful Resolute desk, the great Resolute desk. I think wearing a face mask as I greet presidents, prime ministers, dictators, kings, queens, I don't know, somehow I don't see it for myself. I just don't.
The CDC guidance coming out about these masks, he says he's not going to follow those. He said he thought it would be odd if he was greeting other world leaders while wearing a mask, though, of course, right now we don't know of any planned meetings between the president and other world leaders. And he insisted that this was just guidance from the CDC, voluntary, the president said multiple times, though, of course, Wolf, we should note even the guidelines the president put out about social distancing are just voluntary, not something that they believed could be enforced. But the president himself says other people can do that if they want, but he himself is not going to be following those guidelines about covering your face when you're in public. Of course, the context for that, Wolf, is we did find out today that people who are around the president are now going to be getting those quick rapid-fire tests for coronavirus, the ones where you find out within 15 minutes whether or not you have it. So the president will have that layer of protection, but he says he's not going to be covering his face like the CDC is recommending that the rest of the nation should.
Yeah, they're recommending the rest of the nation does, but the president of the United States says he's not going to do it, not necessarily setting an example for the rest of the nation. Caitlin, stand by. I want to bring in Gloria Borger, who was listening very carefully to all of this. What jumped out at you, Gloria?
Well, I want to agree with Caitlin that there was a stunning lack of clarity on a lot of fronts coming from the President of the United States here. If you talk about the face coverings, it was sort of maybe do as I say, but not as I do, because while he sort of suggested people ought to do it, indicating that we've just maybe recently discovered that you can spread the virus even if you are asymptomatic. And we know, Wolf, you've been talking about it for, what, almost a month now, that you can spread it. If you are asymptomatic, people have known that, and suddenly he's saying, well, we just learned this, so this is what we're recommending, but by the way, I'm not going to do it. And clearly his reason was because I don't want to look silly. I'm just not liking the way it looks at the Resolute desk in the Oval Office.